HOA illegally claimed my land for housing now Karens facing a multi-million-dollar suit. The sun beat down on Maplewood Lane, a picture-perfect suburban street where every lawn was trimmed to perfection and every mailbox gleamed. But beneath the surface of this idyllic neighborhood simmered a feud that would tear the community apart. For years, I'd poured my heart into my modest home at 42 Maplewood, a sanctuary built on land my grandfather left me. It wasn't just property. It was legacy. Then Karen Whitmore, the iron-fisted president of the Maplewood Homeowners Association, set her sights on it. Karen was the kind of woman who wielded her clipboard like a scepter. Her word was law, her smile a warning. When she knocked on my door 2 years ago, her voice dripped with false sweetness. "We're expanding the community garden," she announced, gesturing to my backyard. "Your land's been rezoned for HOA use. It's for the greater good." I laughed, thinking it was a joke, but the official letter that followed wasn't. The HOA had somehow manipulated local zoning laws, claiming half my property for community development. My protests were ignored. My calls to the city went unanswered. Within months, bulldozers tore through my garden, and a row of cookie-cutter townhouses began to rise. I fought back. I hired a lawyer, drained my savings, and uncovered a web of forged documents and backroom deals. Karen had greased palms at City Hall, exploiting loopholes to seize my land. The revelation shook Maplewood. Neighbors whispered at barbecues, torn between fear of Karen's wrath and sympathy for my loss. But Karen doubled down, rallying her loyalists to paint me as a selfish troublemaker. "He's blocking progress," she sneered at a packed HOA meeting. The room erupted in applause, drowning out my pleas. The tension peaked one sweltering afternoon when I confronted Karen on my front lawn. My lawyer's latest Falinga multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the HOA band in my hand. Karen stood defiant, her designer sunglasses glinting. "You'll lose everything," she hissed. Behind her hovered Lila, my soft-spoken neighbor who'd always stayed neutral. Her eyes darted nervously, her hands twisting the hem of her cardigan. The air crackled with unspoken accusations. Neighbors watched from their curtains, their lives entangled in our war. Then came the twist. Lila stepped forward, her voice barely audible. I saw the original zoning map," she stammered. "Karen swapped it with a fake at the city meeting." The crowd gasped. Lila, the quiet gardener who'd spent years tending Karen's prized roses, had been secretly digging into the HOA records. Her betrayal cut Karen like a knife. Karen's face drained of color, her authority unraveling. "You traitor!" she spat, but the damage was done. Lila's evidence was irrefutable, tipping the scales toward justice. The lawsuit gained traction. The media descended, turning Maplewood into a national scandal. Karen's empire of control crumbled as more neighbors came forward with stories of her bullying fines for unapproved paint colors, threats over minor violations. The HOA was exposed as her personal fiefdom. I thought victory was mine. I thought I'd reclaim my land, my heart. But the courtroom delivered a gut punch. The judge ruled in my favor, awarding me $3 in damages. The HOA was ordered to dissolve, and Karen faced personal liability. Yet my land, now a concrete slab under new homeschool, be restored. The townhouses stood, their owners caught in the crossfire, facing eviction through no fault of their own. I'd won the battle, but the cost was a fractured community. Friends turned on friends. Lila moved away, unable to bear the glares of Karen's allies. My home felt empty, its soul stolen not just by bulldozers but by hate. As I stood on my lawn, staring at the wooden sign I'd planted, "HOA stole my land, now they'll pay," bitter triumph churned in my gut. Karen's fall was justice, but it didn't heal the scars. My grandfather's legacy was gone, replaced by a wound that no money could mend. Maplewood Lane was quiet now, but the silence screamed of broken trust. What would you do when justice feels like ashes? Share your thoughts on where fairness ends and healing begins.